Syrian Alliance feel they have an axe to grind with the divine feminine and want to create a male-dominated 100% universe. Moreover, they want to overthrow the mother goddess herself, in her form as pure energy, and make this energy masculine and more powerful than her. This is how it is in a very small nutshell. What I am trying to say here is that males and females have both done bad things towards each other and towards star races in general. Both sides of the coin have been oppressive because they have reigned in the extreme. Here on Earth, we should not be looking at overthrowing everything that has to do with the masculine or the feminine. We all are both masculine and feminine inside ourselves, and we need to find that balance. The last thing we need to do now is to overthrow the patriarchs and create a matriarchal regime again. That would be a horrible idea, and our conditions here on Earth would certainly not improve. We need a world where the feminine and the masculine are in balance, not only within ourselves, but in relationship with each other and within society as a whole. Not until then can we have freedom. Love is the ultimate solution. We can see that everywhere that a real solution is coming up, love is the main ingredient in it. Love can overcome everything, but it has to start within ourselves. We can never ever love anybody else genuinely if we don't love ourselves first. So, everything comes back on self. This is why it's so important to raise our own frequencies. It is the other people's responsibility to raise theirs. But we inspire each other and we grow as a soul group, and eventually we grow out of the pettiness of gender wars, and any other wars as well for that matter. War is always a sign of a lower consciousness. Yes, even when it came to queens and kings of the stars, when they started fighting over which gender was above the other. We need to show the universe that humans are above that. And we are, once we're left alone. It may sound pretentious, perhaps, that we would be able to achieve something that the lesser queens and kings couldn't achieve. If so, think again, because this is exactly a part of what we were created for. It was programmed into our DNA to have as a goal to overcome such pettiness as war and conflict, whatever those may be about. That is part of the experiment, to be able to do some things that the gods and goddesses were not able to do. This is precisely why stern patriarchs like Prince Enlil and King Anu wanted to suppress the powers of mankind, especially the sexual powers and the power of the blood. They didn't want us to be more powerful than they are. I don't know how much Prince Ea actually cared about that. He seemed a little more liberal, because he was an Aryan to begin with, and the son of the first manifestation of the mother goddess. He may have been less concerned about the humans being more powerful than he than the Syrians were. Ea was apparently more concerned about that humankind was too stupid to rule themselves, and therefore had to create certain bloodlines whom he put in charge over the rest of mankind, thus creating a ruling elite class with no middleman. Only an elite on top, and then the people as a slave race below them, to follow every command from the authorities. So, in summary, parts of how we can break our chains are through sex and our divine blood. These two things are very powerful, and when we practice sex magic routinely, we can be more powerful and much stronger. Then, of course, we have the fire of the goddess, but part of that fire is in the blood. That doesn't mean that if our body dies, our fire will diminish, but it means that the body itself has the power of the goddess when powered up by the fire. And we are very powerful even in the physical, here in 3D. What we, as human beings, need to do is to explore the goddess. We have lived millennia after millennia, believing that God is a stern, quite aggressive, testosterone-driven male with long white hair and a long beard, and we've gotten pretty used to that. Now, when we learn that the opposite is true, we have a harder time. Nonetheless, we need to do this. It's essential to our survival in the future. If we ignore the goddess in our lives, we keep staying disconnected from the prime creator because we don't understand her, and we don't understand we are her children, and therefore a part of her.